trafficking on bullshit.
All right, I'm going. Show 63. We're winging it. Haven't a clue. Yesterday we put the documents out there for everybody to read about borax and mycoplasma, how that all ties together. And so not having a clue, we invited Adam.
Wilson hasn't got a clue either.
He doesn't have a clue, so we're just winging it, guys. Wherever this goes, this show, so be it.
Well, we should probably talk about borax.
We did that yesterday. Now, I asked you this morning. Let's. Yeah. Pardon?
For today's followers, people that didn't tune in yesterday.
Yes, the borax.
Quick rundown on borax. We don't have to read the entire article, but just the key points.
Bottom line is the soils all around the world are depleted in boron, which is essential for good health. An apple a day. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but it would seem specifically an apple a day keeps the doctor away because it's got 20 milligrams of boron in it when the soil has boron and all the elements in it. I'm getting to that organic, without pesticide, without fungicide grown.
Or it doesn't even mean that. Like, organic means it's grown in soil and there's nothing used to treat the soil.
You know what I mean? An apple used to be...
Yes.
An apple a day kept the doctor away. So getting back to that, why? Because it had 20 milligrams of boron in it.
Okay, and now wherever you have higher levels of boron, you have lower levels of arthritis.
Cancer and every other, because it protects the cell wall. And the aflatoxin B, the one that they've put into everything, attacks the DNA through that. It has to get in through the cell wall to attack the DNA. So borax.
For all you bodybuilders out there who want to build a nice, big, strong body and recover twice as fast, there you go, boron.
All right, now
you absorb all the minerals and nutrients.
So what's going on in the Ukraine? Why are you? Just explain why.
The
laundry, the soapbox at your supermarket.
Be nice about it. There's people out there that genuinely need to know this. God.
I'm sorry, folks. That was yesterday's, and all the information is there. But you can buy.
People don't hear what you're saying from yesterday.
Exactly.
So just do a quick rundown on what borax is.
Exactly.
Well, I would like to congratulate our followers. We're up to 76 today. And I just did the stats on...
That's 76 after yesterday's show, so make sure we do a good revamp of borax.
People watching and listening without...
Yes, yeah. No, but what it means is that they are faithful followers because the average listening for each show has risen 5 over a week to 70 per show. So from the beginning... This is show 63.
And
the average
at least 10,000 off the Apostolic Letter.
Please be aware that the Apostolic Letter, the English that I have been posting everywhere, and all of you have been doing, they've removed the count of 10,000, so it should be 13,818, but it's reading 3. They do this. They set back the followers from 6,406 back to 162.
I view it as a good thing anyway. It's confirmation that there's a lot of people reading it.
Yes,
so who cares about the actual overall view count? It's good to know that they have to manipulate the numbers.
All right, so borax is the white powder that is mined. It's a mineral. It's boron within the borax powder. The borax powder itself is the way it is presented in the laundry, detergents, within supermarkets or hardware stores. In Australia, Bunnings has it. It's called green grits, and it's 100% pure.
Maybe
it will often say on the container that it's 99 or 99.5% pure. It's just that it has other deposits.
It has other
calcium or magnesium.
Calcium, magnesium, has
phosphorus.
Some phosphorus or zinc. Or potassium.
That's all good because your body needs each of those as well. So.
Yeah, but it's never cut with heavy metals or aluminum or anything as such. So maybe go into the toxicity level of it and what it how it is treated and. Just because people are looking at it going, it's a poison. It says poison on it.
Yes, this is the great big scam. Thank you, Codex Alimentarius, where things that are good for you have been relabeled a scam. But it's actually, table salt is more toxic. Your regular table salt is more toxic than borax. Do not be put off by the poisons label. This is how they get people to shut them down when your body
They do the
is.
same with water, don't they? The purest water is the evaporated water.
Distilled.
Water.
Yes.
That's the best thing for
Yeah.
you. And this is not for human use. Well,
Yes.
actually, they don't want human beings to use it because it makes you feel better and you heal quicker and it's good for you.
Yeah.
And also all these vitamins and vitamin powders that you get from your pharmacies, ever since Codex Alimentarius, they're actually not allowed to have active vitamins. So that means that they're not actually active. You can take 1,000,000 milligrams of it. It won't do a single good as an organic orange could do. A single organic orange is better than an entire box of those vitamins and bullshit supplements that they're pushing. So there you go, is Codex Alimentarius again.
Now, to begin taking the borax, the easiest way to do it is find a litre bottle. We're just using emptied soda water bottles and fill it with clean water and add 1 teaspoon, that's 5 grams, of the borax powder. Shake it up, it dissolves, and then they tell you that's a concentrate. That is now a concentrate. 1 teaspoon in 1 litre is a concentrate. From the concentrate, they suggest taking 1 teaspoon of that into a glass of clean water and drink that once or twice a day.
It's dangerous for older men because it's increases your libido. And also you break into uncontrollable tap dancing. So
And it also stops menopause, actually.
Doesn't stop. It overcomes the hormone imbalances that result from menopause.
Exactly, which means that it.
you know how to make a hormone?
Let's not go there.
So the warnings on the labels scare a lot of people. In my reading through blogs and things, they have this fear factor. Oh, forget the fear factor. Think of it as less toxic than table salt. It has because it softens water, it's highly alkaline. It has people describe it as a soapy taste.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I don't even
not
taste
sour.
it. I don't even taste it.
It's not unpleasant on the scale of unpleasant. If you want to get to unpleasant, start taking some herbal concoctions that I used to have in my cupboard when I was...
Like Epsom salts.
Oh, Epsom salts is not even that bad compared to some of the things I've taken over the years, herbal concoctions. But anyway,
you and I both.
have we covered borax yet? So
Yes, we've covered
it's
borax.
easy. Everybody start taking it as your protection if you're not particularly ill, but also to help you overcome.
With the GMO foods in America, no one should take GMO foods, right? Tell them why.
Well, GMO foods, I think...
What's it do to your gut?
Well, of course, the Roundup Ready corn, which is in everything, creates leaky gut syndrome, which is the very thing that the borax counteracts, is that leaky, because it strengthens the cell wall. If you think, well, it's a membrane. Your cell wall is a membrane. So if there's a tear or a hole in the membrane because it's been burned by some poison, like your GMO corn with the Roundup Ready in it, then leaky gut. So that causes all kinds of sickness and disease, and it's not too long. Well, actually, you do die over a few years after spending a mozza on medical establishment routines. So you need the strengthening of boron in your diet for the gut wall to remain strong and not give in to anything. But outside of that, and eliminate all of your GMO. In America, it's harder and harder. In Australia, we still have organic farms that are farming biodynamically.
Yeah, in America, it's a plague. Because they go, oh, but we have Northern California organic farms, but they're within 500-kilometer radiuses of actual GMO farms.
Chemtrails.
And pollen can actually travel more than 500 kilometers and pollinate a farm. And what happens then is it's no longer organic or GMO free.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them about a shed we're building for.
Yes, we're building
the chemtrails.
Yes, we've got what is it, 8x10?
Yeah.
8x10 foot greenhouse.
Nobody that is in the area that is in a highly densely populated area that has chemtrails above should be growing outdoors, because even it's been proven that it's got arsenic, heavy metals, barium, aluminum, Yeah, so you imagine, just think about it logically. That stuff's getting carried down in the rain. It's falling on top of your heads. It's falling on top of your plants. Your plants are being infected with it. It's killing and it's compromising the immune system of the plants. And basically, you're going to be eating that. So it doesn't even matter if you're going full organo. If you're growing out in direct sunlight, it's not that great. You may as well be feeding it with aluminum oxide foliar spray if that's what you're headed at. So it's almost like we all have to just, if you want to be growing out in the open, you got to be out in the country where they aren't chemtrailing. That's the telling sign. But
if you're in a greenhouse,
yeah,
and you keep the chemicals from falling on top of it and feed the water with pure water, and then you can add the various elements to the soil.
Yep.
And you can grow proper organic food.
Undercover.
You can't expose it to the atmosphere.
Yep.
But then again, like when it comes to those, just as I know from personal experience with those soil additives and whatnot, you always have to be very stringent and actually look at every single ingredient, because there's some of these that claim to be organic, but they contain pactrobutrazole and demonazide. These are synthetic chemicals, and that is literally like GMO fertilizer. It inhibits certain hormones in the plants. It stops the production of auxin. It's terrible for your plants. And eating that stuff is even worse. That literally, like people that grow cannabis with that all through Australia, they're literally creating a tobacco type cannabis where it can cause cancer, because it's got so many of these different chemicals in the end product. That's why all of your stuff, it could be 100 different strains, but it all looks the same, all smells the same. It looks like it came from the same dude's garden. Exactly why. So, especially in Australia, in America, it's been outlawed, but in Australia, they allow it to run rampant in a lot of their fertilizers. So, if you're going to pick up a nutrient or a liquid fertilizer, call the company and be stringent about them. So you want to talk to the analysis manager, you want to talk to the person that's actually synthesizing the chemicals and ask them, does it contain pactrobutrazole, demonazide? Actually, just ask them if it has PGR, plant growth regulators, because these are very, very bad for your health. And you don't want to be growing anything with them.
So what do you suggest as a homemade?
Earth teas. You got to go earth teas. What you gonna go find bat guano, bat poo, and mix that with a bit of horse dung. Dry it out, throw it in a pillowcase, get some demineralized water, ozonated water, and what you do is you dunk it for about 24 hours to 48 hours.
You get rid of the shit out of the organic, well, it's supposed to be organic, but as the horse is eating the grass, it's coming down from the chemicals.
Their digestive system. It's what comes out the other end. What comes out the other end is practically all gone. And plus, when you wouldn't throw it in while it's still moist, you wait till it's completely dried. And once it's in a powder, it's fine.
Look into it very seriously.
I have. That's the best way to do it.
Nothing. You got to watch it.
Well,
look, the bloody grass is all polluted, right? And the horse eats it. Now, you're saying that the gut of the horse is going to fix it? I don't believe it for a second. Go strictly to a organic material that is manufactured by a proper chemical industry that doesn't have any of this crap in it.
Yeah, but that's the whole point. There is none. This is what he was just saying. He was talking about the stuff that you buy off the shelves.
It can say certified organic.
Is there any that's any good?
There is. There's only two companies. What's the
name of the company?
You've got Green Planet, which is made out of Germany, and then you've got Advanced Nutrients. But the thing is, they know they're the best companies, right? So for 5 liters, you're paying $120.
Better than being dead.
How much nutrient is? How much out of that? How long would that last?
That's only one of the many different compounds and elements that you need for a plant to grow. So that's like one of, say, 10 other components that you need. That's why it's an expensive thing. And they know it. Let's be serious about it. Yeah, but it's Jews that run the company, and there's other ways to get around it where you can have the exact same result and still have a healthy, beneficial plant without any of the toxins. Like, there's been analysis done on it.
We'll make another show about that. It's too big a thing. You've got a lot of people listening to this and they go out and buy all the stuff. They're doing no bloody good anyway.
Well, that's what he's saying. Don't buy it.
Well,
Adam's solution, I asked...
We're trying to advise people here, not to say, well, you do the research yourself, right? You can't do that. We have to do the research. We have to tell them what the problems are. A lot of people don't even know what we're talking about right now, let alone saying you go and do the research. Bugger that.
We're not saying...
We do the research.
That's not what we said.
We said, this is what you have to get. That one. That's what it's called. That's it. Nothing else. Right?
I've been doing the research since 2012, every single day.
Because you already made a mistake with horse shit. There's a lull in the program, ladies and gentlemen. Luckily, I'm recording this.
All right, it's...
you came in perfect just then. Okay, it's recording.
Talk about mad panic disease. Don't turn nothing off until I give you the word. Why don't you ask God, wait a minute, he's here in the fucking room with you. Don't do what I tell you not to do. Wait a minute, is that right?
All right, so we've moved on from bat poo.
No,
now we've moved on from bat poo, iguana. That's what the tea.
Bat poo. What do they eat? Right, insects. Where do the insects feed? GMO foods. Same thing. Go back in time before 1900. If you find a cave, okay, and it's got bat shit in it, great.
Yeah, but
until then. They eat insects. Insects live off the bloody plants.
All right, but following that logic, all these fertilizer companies, even this best two, all of them are derived from penguin shit. And that's the most expensive, and it doesn't even do anything. The other ones are all from seagull dung from your locals, just around wherever you have a bay, wherever seagulls are.
So what you're saying, none is any good.
Well, it's all derived from shit, anyways.
Well, if none of it's any good, don't use any of it. That's the point. We will find out what you can use.
Organic soils.
We want to go to the lowest atom here. We don't want to say, oh, give your baby this, that's fine. Right? And it ain't.
Well,
I'm not going to advise anybody to do anything.
No, exactly. 100%. We're not advising anybody to...
Which we are.
Well, I'm telling right now, we're not advising anybody to...
I am, don't do it. Hey,
on the greenhouse.
Zipper, how's that?
On the greenhouse, we haven't a clue.
Zipper. You don't know what you're talking about. So
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Well, stop talking. That's what I'm saying. You only listen to people who know what they're talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Do not do anything until we find out and I give it the okay. That's it. Right? I'll go into the atom. Right? I'll find out exactly where it comes from, whether it's good for you or not. Until then, don't do nothing. Right? It's just like the organic food. Oh, lovely. Buy organic food. It's getting out in the bloody outdoors and they're raining down shit on it. Do you think they haven't got it covered? These are fucking Jews we're talking about here. They cover everything. These are the scum of the earth. Right? They will kill you in any way. And in their bloody books that they've written, which we aren't supposed to find out about, they're going to even kill you in your laundry detergent, when you wash your clothes. They get you by cleaning your teeth, washing your hair, you name it, they get you. They are into everything because they control everything, because they're low-life scum of the earth. They're demons. Right? So, we will find out what can be done. If it's expensive, tough shit. You're better off eating something expensive once a week than eating this cheap shit every day of the week, right?
Well, to be honest, all right, look, plants don't uptake any heavy metals anyways. It's through the foliar. So if they get rained on top of the leaves, it's fucked. But if you feed it through the roots won't uptake it. So an earth tea, by that logic, using earth tea is a cheaper option, and you don't foliar feed. You never foliar feed. You feed it to the roots. The roots take up.
We have to find out. End of subject. We will find out. I will advise you, yes or no. If I'm putting my fucking name on it, it's either going to be right or we don't do it. It's as simple as that. All right? Enough of this bullshit. Well, we'll find out to the very molecules themselves what they do and whether you can use them or not. But until then, do nothing. Right, next subject. People shit goes into... Look, what's happening, we found out now that plutonium is harmless. Another bloody Jewish bullshit thing, right? So what do? They give you GMO from America, and we see the result that everything on the coast is dead because of the sewage. They're shitting this bloody Roundup out of their ass into the water through the sewage treatment plants. And I've worked in sewage treatment. I know all about it. My brother, in fact, put in the big one down in Melbourne. I know all about it and what they do. And where does the waste go? Out into the sea. They take the plastic out, and that's it. Right? That's it. It all goes out in the sea. And if you've been eating that GMO food, you've got Roundup in your gut, then that kills the plankton, that kills the next sea life up, and the food chain is dead. And that is why they pulled off Fukushima, these low-life bastards, right? They got all the Japanese panicking, right? Think you're all going to die. When in actual fact, it don't hurt you. It's all bullshit. Again, another Jewish scam. And of course, they have the Jewish security company goes in and put the Sootnek virus in there. Oh, that closes down the bloody, oh yeah. Now we've got our Samson option going. That's all a diversion to keep you away. They even fooled me. Well, I take some fooling. The bastards fooled me. It is in the food that's coming, raining down from heaven. It's in the GMOs, and it's in the shit going out in the water. That's what's killing all the coastal fish up and down. Starts with the plankton. That's it. That's what these evil bastards are doing. Am I right or am I right? Of course I'm right. Don't have an answer. That's how serious it is. These bastards are trying to kill everyone who is of Jesus. That's why they're not worried about killing all the people in bloody Saudi Arabia or all the people in Egypt. They've already got them. They don't believe in Jesus. They ain't want the Christians. Is that not so?
Yes.
Okay, the Christians might be fucked in the head, but at least they believe in Jesus. Now, I've been watching a few of these bloody shows where we've had, you have to watch one in particular. There's one Jew there who had a near-death experience, long-bearded bastard, right? He started in 5, you go up to heaven, and there's this temple, you go inside that, and even the righteous Christians are there on the outside. That's what this idiot is trying to say. Another Jew, older man, lays down in bed, has a heart attack, and he goes into a blackness so thick, he said if you had a knife, you could cut it. Right? He said you're going from the angel or whoever spoke to him, the Jesus-like figure, which he doesn't want to mention that. Right? Whoever spoke to him said, you're going from the world of lies into the realm of truth. And his whole life flashed before his eyes, and he come back packing the shits, right? At least he had a message for the other Jews.
Well, that was
what the fuck you do, because if you don't believe in Jesus, you are totally screwed. Because I'm saying this, the judge is here, that's me, right? I was Jesus as a soul of, I ain't no more. I'm the asshole this time, right? And there ain't going to be one fucking Jew left on this planet when I'm finished with them. Right? Do I mean it? You know me very well. There's nothing will change my mind. They are fucking gone. So watch out if you're Jewish. Head for the fucking hills. You ain't going to escape. And on that pleasant note...
Which is what I told the Rosenberger from New York.
What a name. Rosenberger.
Rosenberger. It's what you tweeted him last night.
Russians are getting rid of McDonald's, good thing.
And Australian meat. First, they got rid of Australian beef because it's full of hormones. Even the Wagyu that you all think is so divine. And yeah, they've completely 100%. That was the first thing to go. That was in March that they got rid of all of Australian beef. The second thing to go is McDonald's. They're now in the process of removing. Now it's certain meals you can't buy, but that's just the first step for them actually removing the entire McDonald's chain. And, of course, the Jews sitting there, the owners of the Australian cattle industry, were sitting there and they're mulling it over. They said, well, it's not because our beef is full of growth hormones. It's actually, we think, after studying it, there's very sound evidence for this. Big kike nose, imagine that. Yeah, they said it's because of the situation in Crimea, but they couldn't give any logic to that. So literally, you know, they're in squalor right now. Australian beef will no longer be exported to Russia. McDonald's, they dissected a bun apparently, and they said, look, it's not even bread, and that's just the bun. So let's not even go into the rest of the crap that's in it. And as I was saying, I posted on Facebook, I said, look, these are actions of a nation that cares for its people. Now, what is the excuse for the rest of the world? It's that simple, right? It's beautiful, isn't it?
So obviously Russia didn't
Russia is the
sign on with Codex Alimentarius. Mind you, they may have, because that's been since 1964, 1994.
Look, it doesn't matter what they sign into. That's all convoluted. Let's not even go into that.
No,
the fact is that Putin has now, through his actions, is becoming very Christ-like and doing what God is saying. And then the fact is, look, he's the new leader of the free world. That's what it looks like. And all the crap that's going on, that's what's happening. He's the only one actually taking actions to care for his people and the people around him. So, good on Putin.
Moving right along, we've got the Khazars moving back to the Ukraine, which is where we started before.
No, any other updates? Germany is also taking steps to leave and drop the euro and the EU, as the euro is about to implode, which they've been planning. And it's all to do with Putin again. And Putin's agreement with Brazil, Russia, India, and China, called the BRICS organization. They put billions and billions into their own bank, and they've finally said, fuck the petrodollar. Now, this is the struggle that we've been seeing through amongst the years between Russia and the United States, because he's been sitting there and he's been trying to negotiate with the United States, but you can't do that. And I think he's finally realized that. So, exactly. So July 15th, they cut the ties. No more petrodollar being traded between Brazil, Russia, India, and China. Germany's looking at that going, hey, that's a pretty good idea, because guess what? If Germany turns around and puts sanctions and condone sanctions against Russia, well, that's all their gas reserves right there. That's all their gas. That's literally putting a gun to their own head and shooting themselves economically. Merkel's not going to do that. So from a political view, from the best view, that's the route that they're going to go from. And they're going to defect from NATO with that, and they'll defect from the euro. Next to follow in will be France, I guarantee it, and then we'll see all the rest of the European nations dump out of that. Now, every time you see the petrodollar, their power structure that the Jews use to control the world through their monetary system, every time you see that come under threat, they always put something out there. They always do something to try and combat whoever's threatening the dollar. And it was the 15th of July that Putin had signed the BRICS deal, and it was the 17th of July that you had this bullshit scenario where apparently the pro-Russian Ukrainians shot down this Malaysian airliner. Now, the Dutch authorities have taken all the evidence and realized, look, we've been lied to again by the United States. They're trying to push us into another war. At the same time, you had the U.S. saying to Merkel, we're not spying on you. Literally the day before she had spoken to Obama on the phone, what happened? They busted one of their foreign ministers who was giving all the intelligence to United States and Israel. And somebody in the CIA, by divine intervention, someone in the CIA slept in a bit too late and forgot to tell Obama before he got on the phone with Merkel saying, no, don't worry, love, everything's fine, we're not spying on you any longer. Merkel took that and went, right. So what did she do after that? She kicked out all the CIA ambassadors in Germany and all the foreign ministers from the United States in Germany. Got rid of them all. Said, get the fuck out. And she in return said, now we're spying on the UK and the US. That's what she said. That's what she's done in return. So they're hopping out. You got the Dutch authorities looking at this whole Malaysian airliner crisis, and they're going, yeah, that's enough. That's enough. These aren't actions of allies, right? And and Russia's basically standing over there going, I'm not going to say I told you so, but I am saying, you can join up with us and the rest of the meek nations of the world and get together and stop this. We can thwart it. And he's smart because you aim it at their power structure. You don't go full on with war as long as this dollar is being propped up, because they will always win the propaganda war. The machine is too big to shut down. They will always win the whole bullshit emotional tug. The propaganda war is the war, basically. War on for your minds. And he knows not to fight that war. He goes straight for the heart, which is their dollar, their power structure. And now you see them promoting the whole, as Brian said ages ago, look, Israel, you're the cannon fodder. You are the, what do you call it? You're the patsy. You're the Oswald.
Scapegoat.
You're the absolute scapegoat. Netanyahu and all of his cabinet ministers and all of his community municipals were handed actual historical information and documentation of where they come from. Khazar. Now, what did we see? The genetic confirmation. Now, what did we see? We saw the ramping up of Gaza attacks. All the ceasefires, they've completely just destroyed the ceasefires and actually, threw them to the wayside, threw them in the gutter. As we saw yesterday, there was a ceasefire. They agreed to it. And then who was the first to fire? Israel. Now you see 4,500 people protesting and rioting through London. You see riots in France. This is all against Israel and Zionism, not Jews. You have Jews protesting with them, pro-Palestinians. Now mainstream media is covering those atrocities in Gaza. Yes, these atrocities are very real, but the fact is, why is Jew media, Khazarian media, showing what's going on in Israel? Well, guess what? All you Israelis better wake the fuck up, because they're going to come down. Why do you think they built a big wall around you? It's for when the people start to wake up and become consciously aware of the atrocities by the international Jewry and the Ashkenazi Khazars, you're the scapegoat. And that's what y'all's been saying the entire time. Now, as this is happening, as they're showing, oh, look, the world's waking up to Gaza. This is our enemy of the world, Zionism. The Khazar communist Bolshevik bastards, these Satanists, are literally saying openly, and they're being public about it, we're moving back to the promised land. They call it the new Zion, the new promised land. This is what the rabbis have been saying about Ukraine. Kiev, in the capital of Ukraine, is also the capital of Khazaria. And they're being open about it. They said, leave Israel for the Arabs. So we're all going to be pointing. We're going to be pointing the finger at Israeli Jews. Well, these fucking Khazars are literally migrating. And what did we see as soon as this bullshit coup took over the Ukrainian government? They put Yulia Tymoshenko in power, Poroshenko in power, Yatsenyuk in power, the leader of the left group. They were all Jewish. They put all these Ashkenazi Jews back in power that were calling for the blood of all the Ukrainian civilians in the east that wanted nothing to do with it. They said, we want either our own republic or we want to defect to Russia. Because you are fucked in the head. This is what we're seeing. Even the Israeli Times is going, because guess what? Jews are waking up to it. In Israel, they're going, fuck, we've been lied to. We've been Jewed.
You checked if Jewry was right.
There you go. So to turn around, they're going,
I was burying a Jew the other day, and he was in a coffin, buried, belt on a coffin. I'm not dead. They buried him in here. You know why? He was a lying bastard. He was a Jew.
No, but as we're seeing it, the world is waking up to the big scam that it always has been. And even in Israel, they're pissed off because, look, their world leaders, the people that have founded Rothschilds, all of them motherfuckers are moving back to their New Jerusalem. How can that be? All the blood that was shed and all the crap. Look at what you've done. So yeah, it's quite great how they're outing their own selves. But that's where we need to be very vigilant, and the world needs to be vigilant and wake up. That is not Zionism. Yes, that's a big part of it, but guess what? Now they're saying that the new Zionism is moving back to Ukraine. These rabbis, these Orthodox Ashkenazis, these international Jews, such as the likes of George Soros, the multi-trillionaires. They're saying, oh, Israel's not working out, and as it says here, our genealogy comes all the way from Khazaria, which is Ukraine. So what are they doing? What are we seeing? Oh, look, Gaza, the atrocities in Gaza that they've been doing for the past 40 to 60 years, and nobody gave a shit about until now.
They still don't.
Still don't, exactly. But we are seeing, at least, in you're seeing it everywhere. Amsterdam, you're seeing it in France, you're seeing it in Sweden, you're seeing it in the UK. United States, they had something like 1,500 people all protesting. Like in Germany, they're beating the shit out of every Israeli that they're seeing. In France, they actually have this whole webpage set up where they're actually getting the identities and the home addresses of Israeli students And they're beating the shit out of them out front of their own homes. Now, why is the media portraying this? Why are they promoting it? And when you see in the mainstream media, they're going, oh, it's a good thing that they're beating the shit out of these Israelis for all the crimes. They're literally saying, oh, look, an Israeli has been what do you call it, victimized because of the atrocities in Gaza. You never saw atrocities in Gaza in the same sentence, let alone right next to each other. In the mainstream media, why would they be promoting it now? They're almost asking you to go, and people go, atrocities in Gaza, what are they talking about? Google, oh shit, there it is, millions of them. Meanwhile, they sleep on, in the past month alone, they've killed 1,000 civilians in Ukraine because they're cleansing it, because they're reverse migrating. Rabbis are even openly talking about it. They're going, there's a reverse migration. And these aren't Ashkenazi rabbis, these are Israeli Arab rabbis. And they're pissed off because they're going, all of this was a lie? Yeah. And Brian fucking... Exactly. Brian told you from the beginning. He said, look, Israelis, you're a scapegoat. You really are. Because that's the Rothschilds' last card right there. Not the Samson option. We're witnessing the Samson option right now, which is them letting Israel be destroyed. At the same note, there are a lot of Israelis that have to go. The mentality over there is absolutely sick.
Well, in their own writing, they're saying not all can go, just...
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
They're saying that the logistics of that will just be overwhelming, moving everybody over there.
Exactly,
so
they're
again,
not. It's the rich.
Yes, they're political elite.
They move a lot of people with planes.
Oh, yeah. Now, Kolomiski... he's the Israeli BDI Jew that has been funding the neo-Nazi left Azov battalion in Ukraine. He called himself Malik, which in Arab means king of Khazar. There you go. And he's sitting in Kiev, manipulating everybody as a Rothschild's bagman. It's right there, folks. Right in front of you. It's really astounding, isn't it?
Well, Rexona. It's a Rexella. Jack Van Impe's been on for how long, I don't know. Right?
Decades.
Selling bloody books, selling... selling
who's this?
Jack Van Impe.
One of the smaller...
Truthers? No, not
okay.
a truther.
Supporting Israel.
Oh my God, it makes me so sick.
Send your donations in. And then he has his little pretty wife when he's... not pretty.
No, she's weird.
Well, anybody who's Judeo-Christian...
Well, Rexella. She does the news, right?
Oh, wow.
And then he responds to it in Scripture.
Here they are, look.
No, that's enough. That's all I need to see. Jesus. It's almost like, what's that TV priest, and he used to sell the holy water.
Jimmy Swaggart?
No. Richard used to buy it from, oh, God. He looked like a total Jew, too. A Sephardic Jew, that Spanish. Oh, what's his name?
Anyway,
evangelical preacher online, infomercial, was there from 2 a.m. till 8 in the morning, and he's basically, scripture. You just buy the blessed holy water. It comes in 100 ml packets for about $15.99 retail. Just get some of that in you, and you'll be fine. You got skin cancer, sores, no problem. Just pray, throw that on there, slather it on there. My God, it'll be good. Meanwhile, you can almost see his wife in the back sweating away as she's filling the bottles from the tap, right? It was just great. And then you have Benny Hinn and Henry Hinn, the two brothers.
Oh, yes. They all know.
Oh, yeah. But Benny Hinn, I picked this up ages ago. After I've seen, I'm like, okay, he's going into Thailand, he's going into Vietnam, he's going into all these places, which is known as the Golden Triangle, right? Which is where they have all the cocaine and heroin in the world, the mass production facilities. And I'm going, Turns out he gets busted trafficking this shit on his airplane, his private jet that costs him $120,000 a month. just to keep...
Costs his followers
$120,000 a month just to sit on the tarmac, mind you. That's not including petrol, and he's actually flying all across the world. And he was bringing back Coke and all this shit on his planes back in the United States and Canada. Wow. Big fucking surprise there. I remember when his brother, it was Henry Hinn, his brother, that, he was our pastor at our local VCC church. We went to his house. It was huge.
That's the house that he built.
Huge, yeah, that he built from the ground up on a massive property.
Screwed all of the creditors, and your father got him out of the hot water by putting him on a payment plan.
Oh, yeah, it didn't stop him from buying a new Mercedes every year.
And then it was, his Merc was about to be repossessed, so he had another special tithe, a special offering take-up.
Oh, God.
And it was the dude was waiting to take it as the plate is going around, but a first fruits offering. Oh my God.
It's almost like that joke, a priest and a pastor are standing there. And the priest is going, the pastor's going, "Oh, priest, you've got such a nice big cathedral. How do you do it?" And he's like, "Well, that's where the tithing comes from. It goes back into the church." And he goes, "Huh." So then the priest asks the pastor, he goes, "How is it that you drive a new Mercedes-Benz and a Lexus every year? You have a new car." He goes, "Oh, well, I take the tithing, and I go back and I say a little prayer. God, whatever you don't want, whatever you need, take it. Whatever you don't want, it's all mine." That's exactly what Benny Hinn and Henry Hinn followed. It was amazing.
Back down to the ground.
And it floats back. It's all his. Oh God, what a grateful God. He doesn't need anything.
Well, because I alerted them all right from the beginning, and I haven't stopped alerting them.
Oh, I just don't.
Christ is back, and
I don't know how we couldn't see the signs.
He had a dream one day that he told everybody about Jesus coming up to him on the stage in front of thousands, and so babe.
I'd love to do it.
Oh, and punch his lights out.
Right.
The funniest thing was, I don't know how nobody caught on to Henry Hinn. Everybody was given so much money, and he had some real rich followers, right? He was driving these amazing brand new cars.
Actually, Henry Hinn didn't have that many.
No. But here's the fact. The fact is, where was the church? It was in a fucking industrial area factory.
Yes, well, that's what Pentecostal churches do. That's
what his church did. Pentecostal.
No, that's not unusual. That's what Pentecostal churches do. They don't go and have
because
churches
the rent's
per
cheap.
se. They go and rent factories so they can fit more in, etc.
It's because Monday's mass tidings pay for the rent.
At Vancouver Christian Centre, it was a revolving door because people would come in and then they'd sit and be entertained for a period of time, and then they'd leave again. And the faithful followers were few, and they were not very wealthy themselves. But Henry would go and travel with Benny, and Benny would pay him $5,000 US per night or whatever show that they were fleecing the sheep. And
doing
of course,
all kinds of sickening things.
After the shows, they would all sit around, and again, your father was party to all this. It made him sick. They'd all sit around and talk the way they do about the people that they were supposedly healed, and make fun of everybody, and laugh and joke about what they've accomplished that night. So they, that's the Pentecostal world for you. They're all like that. They're all buddies. It's all this quantum that they get together when they get together.
I knew Henry Hinn was a sus motherfucker because we always got taught in school never accept candy from anybody. Doesn't matter. It wasn't the whole that they promote a stranger. So they're saying, oh, okay. So if someone's going, here's some candy, and you know them, they're a friend of your father's. You know them. Trust them. No, we were taught in school the right way. Never accept that shit from anyone. What did I see Henry Hinn doing to all the boys and little girls? He'd walk around with a pocket full of Aero chocolates and Kit Kats, and he'd go around and he'd be going, yeah, and he had his favorites. I remember that.
You know why? You know why he did that?
Here comes a naive comment.
No,
Why did he do that?
Have you seen a photograph of Henry Hinn lately? I looked at it last night after I tweeted his brother once more. So I went over and got a recent photograph of Henry Hinn. Fat motherfucker. Oh, bigger than than a whale.
He was always a large fellow.
No, because he's a fat glutton, and he lives off coffee. And I remember when...
And the souls of unsuspecting children.
I remember when Helen had a dream one night about Henry swimming... No, what was it? Swimming pool. That's right. Henry was floating around in the swimming pool like this great big fat whale that he is, devouring this other little fish that was swimming in the same pool, that was literally starving. Well, that, of course, was Robin Fay, his assistant pastor, that relocated from England to come.
I remember that.
Now, we put them up for 6 weeks. We opened our house to a family of 6 for 6 weeks because nothing was arranged for them to stay anywhere. It was your father, again, who organised a house for them to rent and move into.
Which was up the street.
A couple of doors away.
And then after
all that time, Robin was to come to a position where Henry was to pay Robin, I think it was $1,000 per week to be his personal assistant. So moved the entire family over, sold up. He was doing very well in England, and he was never, ever paid. Robin had to live off his own wits and save themselves because Henry never paid his assistant, Pastor Robin.
Hold on. They were able to afford a very, very generous, luxurious house.
That's right.
No. I'm saying the Fays. They moved to a really nice...
Because they had their own property in England that they sold. That was their only... They had the money for the... So they bought a nice house that they moved into in a new suburb. Robin even asked my opinion about it. But he was never, ever paid by Henry Hinn, not unless it happened long after we left. And, of course, Henry was the one who kicked myself out and Helen and Linda because the three of us were praying together without his permission.
Well, in Henry's defense, child pornography is very expensive.
Anyway,
I'm just saying.
Moving right along. How did we get to that low life?
You were on about the evangelical Jack Van Impe.
Look, it's sickening. Now, what?
The Catholic Church has got them all beat now.
They have. The Catholic people themselves are beautiful. They're meek.
That's what I mean. I mean, like, people go, what about the money in the Catholic Church? I'm like, have you seen where it goes back into? They actually have programs. It's not hard to Google and see what they try to contribute back to society from what they take in.
That's the way they live.
Shit. It's not that hard. People are so jaded by the media, right? Like, it's in absolutely everything. This is where the whole cultural Marxism comes in.
And they're not focus on them.
Well, here we go. This is the LGBT community. They go in and they go, oh, it's a pedophile priest. No, it's a homosexual priest who's not allowed to be with a woman. And that's why he goes. But they never stress that point. It's actually just a homosexual priest. That's all it is. He's not a pedophile. It's the fact that he was tempted by younger males because he's homosexual. But they never go into that point because that would paint homosexuals in a bad light. So they focus on that. Never mind you, they never tell you about all the people in the music industry that are touching boys. They never tell you about all the people in Hollywood that are touching boys. They never tell you about all these prominent politicians that are touching boys. They never tell you about that, do they? And if anybody gets busted, it's a pedo... No, it starts with homosexuality. And that is all that is... And that is all that's in the Catholic Church. It's not pedophilia ring. It's a homosexual isolated cases, and that's what's happening. That's what we have. But no, the cultural Marxism that's coming through the coming through the media and your movies. It's absolute brainwash. Like, it's just dumbfounding. They always paint the idiot. The idiot is always painted as the one that is against homosexuality. He's always against the one that's against diversity. And they paint that as the idiot. So they teach you in society that's how you should not be. You get what I'm saying? It's just...
So, babe, you're having an organic orange. To get your daily vitamin C. All right, well, we've got about 10 minutes to go.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I thought it was longer than that. Okay, what's another subject you haven't touched on?
What do you reckon?
Oh, I don't know.
Pope Benedict. Now, if that man had been able to do what a pope is supposed to do, all this shit would be over now.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if Hitler...
It's already a done deal. It's just they're waiting for this asshole Francis
to die? You tweeted him again this morning, babe.
Did I?
Yes, you let him personally know that all the blood for Ukraine and Gaza is on his head. Actually, I'll read to you what you said.
All right, good.
Tweets. Let's see.
The man can recite all the measurements from the Great Pyramid round the earth back to his place of birth, all the numbers between him and his nieces and his daughters, and yet he just can't remember what he tweeted this morning.
Oh, the world knows because I told them. Here we go.
Upon your head, the blood spilled in Ukraine.
No, because Francis comes up with his own tweet, so I was replying to a couple of his over at Pontifex. So I said that because he said that the great threat in today's world is greed and lonely hearts or whatever. I said the great threat in today's world is you and your buddies, Jews.
Oh, Jesus.
Shh, Jews who are not Jews. They, the oppressors and the greedy, hell awaits you. And then I said, the blood spilled in Ukraine and Gaza is upon your head. You are a fraud, a deceiver, a liar, murderer, sorcerer. And then I said, unless you announce the Christ's return, you will pay the price for all blood spilled from the beginning of creation, is what I wasn't room.
So
and then I said, last tweet, then you said rather, you worship the image of the beast while denying every man and woman to see and hear Christ returned, because he was crapping on about his, how every man and woman in the world must be able to meet with Jesus. So I said.
Well, I propose that we start a new industry. I've been thinking about this one for a while. We need people, carpenters. We're going to start carpenters, but it's very elementary grade level type stuff. It's basically 2 nails into 2 planks of wood. You make a cross, and then we'll have someone that's hired for basically stock intake for cattle. We'll grab all of them, train them up, and then we'll start crucifixions all over again. What do you reckon? It's a good industry.
Start with Francis.
Exactly. We'll have thousands of people all across it.
Nails, I want you screws. Those thick screws or some sort.
Roofing screws. So we'll have crucifixions.
And what do they sell at the crucifixions? The
wolf's nipples chips.
Gravel and large pointy rocks.
That's for the stonings.
Yeah, well, they just stone people in the same area. Isn't it a thrilling idea when you think about it? Like, put yourself in this mindset, right?
Oh.
You go out the front of your house, and you look there, and there's a cross, and there's a guy hanging on it, and then there's a lady at his feet, and they take her off and stone her to death. Right? Same place. That happened.
It did.
Extraordinary. Still are today.
I did see a headliner. I didn't dig deeper. I think it was on mainstream. That ISIL, which is US backed, right?
ISIS and ISIL. Let's not even go into that. That's a downer.
Yeah.
That is a downer. That is just terrible what they're doing. They're not Islamic. I don't even know what the hell they are. They're animals. They're beasts. They're beasts.
Sometime. I think you should sing, babe. We need to end on a...
On an ending note, just seeing what I'm seeing here, anti-Zionism is not anti-Semitism with George Galloway. Fuck George Galloway.
What's What's this all about?
Fuck George Galloway. Look, George Galloway's, I am anti-Zionist, but at the same time, I'm pro-immigration and diversity, which is killing off the white race in the Celtic nations and the Nordic lands and the Aryans. That is what is killing our people today. That is what's driving us down the fucking shithole. That is what is giving us white genocide. Fuck George Galloway. He's a talking head. Look, what we need to realize, folks, is at the crush against the Jews, we're going to have a lot of people coming out in the truthing community that are going to be saying, oh, it's Zionism, and they're going to actually be bringing up the Jewish question. But the fact is, they're talking heads, and if the final solution is not kill them all, basically, kill them all, get rid of them, then they're full of shit. And that's what I'm anti-Zionist, but I'm not an anti-Semite. It's a joke. Oh, bit of mail for Mother.
Oh, that's just the...
Okay, is that it?
That's it. You're... Oh, yeah, I think so. We've got... Yeah, let's end early. Go. Bye. Oh, totally.
Well, that's what people like, isn't it?
Oh, and I haven't switched this off yet. So long, farewell. What's the...
You're asking me.
Yes. So
You're
long, farewell. Auf Wiedersehen. Yes, auf Wiedersehen. Bye, guys.